When Dr. Umar Johnson stood inside the echoing walls of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy that night, the air carried a mix of sawdust, sweat, and rumor. The kind of rumor that spreads faster than fire through dry leaves. They said the school was gone. They said FDMG, the dream, the movement, the years of sacrifice, was being sold off to the very same system he'd been fighting his whole life. But if there's one thing people forget about Dr. Umar Johnson, it's that he doesn't fold under pressure. He feeds off it. And on that cold Wilmington evening, with the moonlight bleeding across the cracked concrete and folding chairs stacked high in the gym, he pressed record and went live. His voice cut through the static like thunder. "Brothers and sisters," he said, his tone low but pulsing with defiance. "We are not selling anything. We are renovating. We are elevating." The camera shook slightly as he moved through the dark halls, pointing at the desks, the walls, the boxes of supplies, receipts of his vision. "They thought FDMG was getting sold," he said again, each word hitting harder. "But what they don't understand is, you can't sell a revolution that's still being built." The chat flooded with hearts, fire emojis, and question marks. The people were confused. For weeks, online whispers had claimed the property records showed a change in ownership. Some said investors had pulled out. Others said the city was preparing to seize the property over unpaid taxes. But to Dr. Umar, it wasn't just gossip. It was warfare. "They've been trying to bury this school since I bought it," he shouted. "They have been trying to bury me since I stood up for Garvey's name. But I told you, we are not playing any games. You can't kill a Pan African dream with a rumor." He walked past a pile of classroom furniture stacked to the ceiling. Chairs, tables, old chalkboards, all waiting to be restored. He pointed the camera toward the chaos with pride. "They see this and think it's trash. But this transformation is in progress. This is the resurrection of our future." His tone softened for a moment, the preacher giving way to the teacher. "This ain't no real estate flip. This ain't no business deal. This is blood, sweat, and Garvey." Outside, the Wilmington wind howled. Inside, his words bounced off the walls like a hymn. "I told y'all, brothers and sisters, hit the PayPal, hit the P.O. box. Don't let them make you believe we are done. Don't let them trick you into thinking we quit." The comments rolled in faster. Supporters from Baltimore, Philly, Camden, Jersey, each one declaring loyalty. Each one promising to pull up when the doors opened. But behind the passion, there was something else, a quiet frustration, maybe even exhaustion. Because Dr. Umar Johnson wasn't just fighting rumors. He was fighting time, bureaucracy, and the endless drain of keeping a dream alive with only community donations. Every month that the lights stayed off, every permit delayed, every dollar stretched thin, it was all ammunition for the critics who wanted to see him fail. And that night, when he looked into the camera, you could hear both the rage and the resilience. "You are either building institutions," he said, voice trembling slightly, "or you are wasting people's time." "And I ain't never wasted anybody's time." Then came the moment that turned the live stream into a movement. He walked into the park area outside the school, moonlight reflecting on the pavement. "This is where we're gonna have First Fridays," he said, lifting the phone toward the night sky. "Music, food, movies, fellowship, but only for my RBGs. If you don't identify as African, you can't come. If your spirit ain't natural, you can't come. This space is for us, by us, protected by Garvey's spirit." His voice cracked as he said it, not in weakness, but in conviction. Because too many of our people let outsiders profit from our pain. Not this time, the energy shifted. Viewers weren't just watching. They were witnessing a declaration. "They thought FDMG was getting sold," he repeated, pacing the park like a general surveying his battlefield. "But how are you going to sell something you ain't finished building? How are you going to sell something that doesn't belong to man? It belongs to the ancestors." His words rolled like waves. For every critic who laughed, there were dozens of believers who felt renewed. "They said the man was crazy," one comment read. "But every prophet looks crazy until the dream manifests." The camera turned toward the old gymnasium doors. "This is the Nat Turner Gym," he said proudly. "This is where our young kings are going to learn discipline, respect, and strength." He tapped the floor. "This is where manhood gets reborn." Then he looked directly into the lens, his eyes burning. "Tell them, haters, the floor may be dusty, but the vision is spotless." For a few moments he went silent, just breathing, the wind blowing through the mic. Then he smiled, a rare kind of smile, half defiant, half weary. Y'all remember this day, he whispered. Remember this live stream. They said we were done. They said the dream was over. But when those doors open, and they will open, they're gonna wish they believed sooner. The comments went wild. King Kong consciousness forever, one shouted. FDMG till the end. Another wrote. Dr. Umar Johnson chuckled, rubbing his beard. You know the rules, he said with a grin. Snow bunnies never. Queens forever. By now, the live show had crossed thousands of viewers. He started naming cities like a preacher calling roll. Baltimore, Jersey, Philly, Virginia, Georgia, Chicago, pull up when we open those doors. Each name a promise, each shout a rallying call. Behind the bravado, though, there was a hint of confession. This wasn't just about proving the school wasn't sold. It was about proving he hadn't lost faith. Then came the line that silenced the chat. You can't sell what was never for sale. You can't own what was built for freedom. The only thing we sell out here is fear, and I ain't buying none. In that moment, Dr. Umar Johnson transformed from a man defending himself into a man defending history. Every repetition, every oh yes, every brothers and sisters wasn't filler. It was armor. The speech wasn't rehearsed. It was instinctual, born from the pressure of keeping a dream alive when everyone else calls it dead. As he ended the live, the moon still high above FDMG, he looked straight into the lens one last time. To my haters, he said, voice calm now. I thank you. You keep me sharper than steel. But just know, when that ribbon gets cut, when that first class begins, when that first young king walks through these doors, your lies will be the foundation he stands on. Then the feed cut off. Silence. Only the faint echo of his mantra remained, looping in the minds of